Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Kate Hamilton Health Podcast. So in today's episode, we are going to chat about the weekend. Did you know if you considered Friday, Saturday and Sunday as part of your weekend, that is over 40% of your week, 42%. And quite often, we all struggle with the weekend. We can be really good Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we throw it all away at the weekend. And then we end up in this cycle of restriction during the week and binging at the weekend. And because the weekend, when we say Friday, Saturday, Sunday is 42% of our whole week, then we never make any progress because we're like, we're being really good 58% of the time, and then 42, I don't know if that's the right maths, yeah, and 42% of the time we're like going overboard. Quite often, although we may not be gaining weight, if we have goals to lose weight, we're not actually getting anywhere. We're kind of going around in circles and we're stuck in this vicious cycle over and over again, which is not what we want. So this is going to be a quick, snappy podcast. I have 15 tips for winning the weekend, no matter what you have on. Okay, so we're going to talk through all 15 tips. Number 1, think about your daily calories multiplied by 7. Okay, over the whole week. So if your calories are 2,000 calories per week, multiply by that by 7, that's 2,000 multiplied by 7. 7 twos are 14. So that's 14,000 calories for the whole week. So you can save some calories from during the week to put towards your weekend. So if you're on 2,000 calories, you could have like 1,800 calories Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you've saved 200 per day. So you've gained 800 calories to give you a bit more flexibility at the weekend to get that balance right. But the really important thing here is you have to track the weekend if you've got a goal and you want to make progress. And if you're tracking midweek, you need to track the weekend too. Never save more than 200 calories per day, because then you're into the restrict and binge cycle. And if you restrict too much midweek, then you're going to really, really struggle with actually staying within even your extra calories, being able to track and stay within your calories at the weekend, because restrictive eating always leads to binging. I'll say that again because it's so important. Restrictive eating always leads to overeating. I know I've said that before, but it's just so important. So we never want to be super restrictive. We want to be structured, and we can bank a little bit, but we definitely don't want to be super restrictive because it leads to us losing control. Number 2, plan ahead. So this is something that you need to do when you have time. And I know I've talked about this before, but maybe at the weekend, if you have more time on a Sunday morning, sit down and plan your whole week, plan out the whole week. That organization doesn't make you rigid and boring. It'll actually make you more relaxed. It'll make your week less stressful, and it'll make it easier to stick to your calories. So if you actually just sit down and be like, what are we having for dinner Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and plan that out. What do you eat for your breakfasts and your lunches? Plan that out, make a shopping list, do an online grocery shop, boom, ordered, sorted for the week. It's really, really important that you're not just skating by, oh, what do we have for dinner today? Have the shit in your house so that when you're like, oh, like, what are we having for dinner? Oh, I don't have time to stop it. Or we'll just grab this frozen stuff, or we'll just order a takeaway. It's like, no, you have the stuff. If you have the fresh ingredients in your house, you're going to be like, no, it's chicken curry tonight. Let's go home. Let's get it done. So it's just being that organized is going to just set you on a nice routine and make it so much easier. So that's in relation to your week. To bring that towards the weekend, if you know that you have something coming up at the weekend and you're saving some calories for it, being organized, if you've reduced your calories by 200 each day, is going to be even more important. And you need to plan the calories for whatever is ahead. So how many calories do you need for Saturday night? Do you need 2,800 calories or whatever it is? Plan for it. Have an idea of what you're going to have. Just be prepared. Don't be like, oh shit, oh God, I forgot I had so-and-so's 40th on. It's like, just know. So taking that little bit of time for yourself, make yourself a nice little coffee or whatever Sunday morning when it's nice and quiet, and think about the next 7 days ahead. Number 3, always plan your calories the night before. This is so important. I've said this loads of times as well. Set a reminder on your phone. Make sure that alarm goes off at a time when you're going to be sitting down for the evening. So, maybe 9 p.m. or whatever, if you're sitting down before you go to bed. When that reminder goes off on your phone, stop what you're doing, take out MyFitnessPal or whatever you're using to track your calories for the day ahead. Now, once you get into a routine with tracking, that's literally going to be copying and pasting the same breakfast, lunches, and snacks, give or take a little bit. And then it's just like you'll already have planned your dinners. So you'll know that it's like chicken curry or spaghetti bolognese the following day. And then you can just put that recipe in and it's tracked and it's done. And it gives you structure for the day ahead. And this is even more important for the weekend because you need to know if you're going out for dinner, you want to kind of know what you're having. It doesn't have to be restrictive. You can actually have what you want to have, but it just needs a bit of forward planning. Number 4, if you're going out to eat, check the menu and guesstimate. Head out with a plan. So same thing, as I said before, all restaurants now have their menus on the internet, on their website. Okay, you will be able to access their menu. A lot of places actually have started putting calories on the menu, so you might be lucky. If you're going to Nando's or somewhere, the calories are on the menu. If not, don't worry. You're even just guesstimating and just knowing that realistically, if you're trying to stay within a calorie deficit, and if you choose not to, and that's fine, you're like, I'm going to have a maintenance week, that's fine. But if you want to continue to make progress that week, you need to realize that you can't go out and have starters, main course, and dessert and actually stay in a deficit, because your main course alone, you need to allow about 1,000 calories for. So obviously, if you throw in a dessert and starters, you're probably talking another 1,000 calories. So you're talking 2,000 calories for the whole meal, and you can't go all day not eating anything. So, go out with a plan, be like, I'm going to have main course, try as best as you can to stick with that. You might be able to manage a dessert or a starter with that, but being realistic, if you want to stick in your calorie deficit, you're probably not going to be able to do all 3. Number 5, when guesstimating from the menu, search the most suitable match for what you're having. So for example, if I'm having pizza in a local Italian restaurant, I might search up the calories in a similar pizza from like a bigger chain restaurant like Milano's. Chances are they're going to be similar. Same with burger joints. Think TGI Fridays, coffee shops, think Costa or Starbucks. You'll find a big chain version of whatever restaurant you're in. It's going to give you similar enough idea of calories for your guesstimation. Number 6, if you're going out for dinner, there's nothing wrong with slipping a little chocolate bar in your bag for dessert. If you're like, no, I really want to stick with my calories, I really want to reach my goals. I do this all the time. What I'll do is I'll buy myself a skinny latte, and I just like to have something sweet with it. And yeah, okay, fair enough, it's not a fucking cheesecake, but if you've had a decent dinner and maybe even a little starters, then you still feel like you're having a dessert because you're having skinny latte, you're having I have my little Freddo bar or whatever with me. And then I don't feel deprived and I'm still moving towards my goals. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about in general in your whole life. I'm talking about when you're trying to stick to a deficit, you have a specific goal and you don't want to break it. That's what I'm talking about. Number 7, if you're going out drinking, plan ahead. Okay, even if your plan goes to shit, the more you have more chance of it not if you head in with a plan. So like, how many drinks are you planning on having, and track them in your calories. Some, as we know, usually when we have 2 or 3, we end up having more than we intend to have. But rather than just going out and be like, wow, I'm free, just you're having a little bit of a plan. Like, you will thank yourself the next day and the calories will thank you. Also, just be really careful on the snackies with it as well. If you're going, for a wine night with the girls and, there's going to be cheese and crackers or whatever there, you might want to bring your own little individual stuff, or you might want to just track ahead for that stuff, and that's totally fine as well. But just trying to plan ahead as much as you can to catch these little things at the weekend. And if you're going out drinking, please have your food planned and prepared and tracked for the following day. It's the following day that's so important after a night of drinking. And don't plan for a salad. You know that won't make the cut the following day. So have, the ingredients for a nice fake away, or have some of those like fit meals in the house. Have a couple of them because one of them probably won't fill you. Have the smaller versions of the chocolate and the crisps ready to go. Have it tracked. It's all great when you're feeling good before you go out drinking. But then after you've been out and you're wrecked, you're not going to feel the same way as you felt before you went out. So just plan for the tired version of yourself the next day so that you're straight back on it the next day, but also feeling satisfied. Number 9, don't be an ostrich, just track it. Even if your weekend doesn't go according to plan, track what you do eat, even if it's way over, because you can't change something that you're not aware of. So if you keep burying your head in the sand every weekend, whether you've got a drinking night out, whether you've got a dinner out, whether it's just a normal weekend that's just kind of busy, run around after the kids and you're at home most of the time, if you're not aware of how many calories you're consuming in the weekend, You can't do anything to change it. And it doesn't mean go from the way things are now to being absolutely perfect. That's not what, and it's never about being perfect. You know that. Even if your step one with the weekend is whenever you are listening to this, if your weekends at the moment are totally out of control and they're holding you back from reaching your goals, please just try and commit to yourself. Just make one commitment this weekend to track absolutely everything you eat, regardless. It doesn't even have to be from a place of restriction. So it doesn't have to be like, I have to try and stick to 2,400 calories or 1,700 calories or anything like that. You're not saying you have to stick to any calories, but you're going to track it and see how many calories you currently are eating at the weekend. Because once you actually see what you're eating, you can start to make minor adjustments to pull that back. Especially if you're tracking in a deficit all week, you'll be able to do the maths and figure out that average and see, does what you're eating at the weekend take you way out of your calorie deficit? That's why you're not losing any weight. And it can be so much easier to do than you think. Just the extra few squares of chocolate, the extra nibbles of different bits and pieces, having a takeaway dinner instead of a home cooked dinner. All of these things are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of calories added up, added up, added up. And it's very easy to make minor adjustments step by step to change that. But you have to be aware of it first. So start by just tracking everything the way it currently is. See where you're at. See where that's your starting point. Number 10, if you have a dinner out or an occasion, keep the whole day up to it with normal habits and then get straight back to it the following morning. So what I mean by that is I remember being in a slimming club and the leader telling me to, just basically eat as little as I could during the day to save myself for the night out, and then I could just relax and enjoy myself and eat whatever I wanted. So, if you're eating lettuce leaves all day long to go out for dinner, you're going to go mental because you're going to be so fucking starving. So don't do that. Have your normal breakfast. Have your normal lunch. If you want to have a little bit less carbohydrates than you usually do to save some calories and a bit extra vegetables, that's fine, but keep your protein source in place for breakfast and lunch. Don't skip a meal. Your blood sugar levels will drop. You're setting yourself up for serious cravings and uncontrollable eating, and it will also roll into the next day. So keep the regular meals in place. It's so, so, so important. And from the banking of calories, you'll have the extra calories to have a few more calories on that day. So it's okay. And then just get straight back to it, back to normal the following morning. Like I said, being prepared for that. So if you've done all the planning and it all goes to shit, nothing goes according to plan, don't restrict the following day to try and make up for it. Draw a line under it and start fresh. You've got that day planned before you've gone out, remember, from one of the previous steps. So just stick to the calories that you'd planned for. Because if you start on this guilt and this restriction, you feel like you're constantly trying to catch up on yourself. And it's very difficult, especially if you're tired from after being out and then you're going to have had a lot of, sugar foods with a bit more calories than usual. You're going to probably feel a bit hungrier the next day. And if you're trying to restrict on top of that, and then if you throw a hangover in on top of it, it's just a recipe for disaster. So just draw a line under it, start fresh again the next day if that's happened, and you'll be absolutely fine. Number 11, there's nothing wrong with bringing prepped food with you on a day out. Salads, sandwiches, overnight Weetabix, overnight oats, leftover dinners, cooler bags, whatever needs to be done. I'm telling you, cooler bags are the new cool, I swear. My point is now, I'm not talking about when you're going to restaurants. I'm talking about if you're going to your kids' football match, if you're going to a picnic in the park, if you're out for the day, rather than grabbing something quick in the petrol station, bring the stuff with you. At least you know where you stand with it. And it just takes a little bit of preparation the night before. Again, back to that forward planning thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Just do it. Even like, if I've even gone to hang out at my parents' house and I know there's loads of junk food there and I'd be just snacking that stuff, I often just bring my own stuff to pick on, because then at least I know where I stand with it. And then I can still have my dinner with everyone or whatever, but that my snacky bits I have with me, or you know what I mean? Or my coach, Lindsay, mentioning her a lot in the podcast lately. Shout out to Lindsay. But she always brings her little Tupperware with her when she goes to her boys' football matches and she's out and about for the day. She'll have her meals with her, her lunch with her, and she absolutely nails it. I just wanted to interrupt the podcast for a moment to talk to you a little bit about Kate Hamilton Health online coaching. So we have two coaching options available. We have our elite coaching and we have our group coaching service. Our elite coaching service is bespoke, individualized coaching, which will help you to finally break free from diet culture with one-to-one anytime support from your coach and with access to a safe, supportive community. This is a higher ticket coaching option, and the coaching is by application only. If you go to my website, katehamiltonhealth.com, you will be able to apply for elite coaching through there, and we will be in touch to organise a call and to get you up and running. In relation to our group coaching starts on the first Monday of every month. When it's full each month, we do close the doors. With the group coaching is about building the habits, body and energy of the healthiest version of yourself and finally make it stick. We include personalized calories and portions, food lists, recipes, meal plan ideas, step goals, home or gym-based workouts, depending on what you want, changed every 8 weeks. Mindset work, app access. So that's the Kate Hamilton Health app, which will be your hub for everything. Weekly yoga classes, WhatsApp group community, weekly group Q&A with myself, fun challenges, daily habits form, weekly self-check-in, fortnightly check-ins with your coach, a library full of lifestyle guides, a library full of lessons, seminars, and all of this is updated regularly. We have weekly group Zoom calls with myself and the team, regular guest seminars where we get experts on to talk more to you about different topics that we need experts on for. And then we have in-person events twice a year that you will get at a major discount as being a member of the Kate Hamilton Health community. So, as I said, this starts the first Monday of every month. If you go to my website, katehamiltonhealth.com, you will see when the next group coaching intake is starting for you. So we close the doors as soon as that intake is full or the Monday before the group coaching starts. So usually that last Monday of the previous month. So if you head over to katehamiltonhealth.com, all of that information that I've talked through is on the website. You'll be able to book your spot for the next intake there. And I will chat to you all then. Number 12, keep active. The weekends are a great time to catch up on steps. Okay, so although the weekends can be more challenging when it comes to food, if you're eating out, if you're drinking, if you're out of routine, if you're busy with social occasions, the weekends, most people, I know it's not everyone, but most people are off at the weekends. Not everyone I know, but that gives us a little bit more. Our time is less constrained, which means it's a great time to head up the hills and go for a hike, go for a walk around your neighborhood. It's easier to give yourself that time to yourself to get your workouts in, to get your walks in at the weekend. So don't be afraid to schedule, if your weeks are chock-a-block, schedule gym time for yourself on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday morning or whatever, when your partner's at home and they can look after the kids, or you have help from family or friends around you that you can get away for a little bit of time to yourself. That's a good time to do it. So instead of looking at the weekend as, oh my god, I have to control my eating, be like, what can I do? Can I meet a friend for a walk and a coffee? Instead of sitting and having coffee and pastries, do a coffee walk. Get active with your friends. Organize going for a hike. Bring the kids to the park. Get them on their bikes. You get moving. What movement can you add in? Because I promise you, it's going to make you feel amazing. If you get up first thing at the weekend and get out, get some fresh air, get some sunlight and move, it changes everything and it sets your energy right for the whole week ahead. Number 13, journal, reflect. Most of us have more time to do this at the weekend. So when it comes to reaching goals like losing weight, getting fitter, getting healthier, we need to change and adjust some habits in order to get to where we want to go. But if you're not aware of your current habits, your current thoughts, your current beliefs, limiting or empowering, if you're not aware of them, you can't make the necessary adjustments to change your path slightly to where you want to go. So it's really important to, and this doesn't have to be complicated. Sit down with a pen to paper and be like, what was good today? And then just write one thing down. It doesn't have to be a paragraph. It can be if you want. It can just be one word. What wasn't so good today? Just ask yourself those questions. See what comes up. What can I do different next time? And don't jump to drastic changes. Think about something small that could be different. So like, what was good today? You could say, I planned my calories the night before. Brilliant. That's such a win. And you need to celebrate these wins because not everyone's doing that. And if you're doing that, you're already a step ahead. What didn't go so well today? I didn't have time to get out for a walk and finish the day in 3,000 steps. It's no point in, it doesn't make you a bad person. Shit happens. But next question, what can I do different next time? I'll get out for a walk before we leave the house for football training or whatever it is you're doing at the weekend with the kids or whatever, I will schedule my walk next Saturday morning at 10 a.m. or whenever. Then what you've done is you've like, okay, rather than me beating myself up and feeling shit and being like, oh, I never got a walk in, oh, like there's no time for me or whatever, instead of, that negative narrative, you're changing it to be proactive and be like, right, I didn't prioritize myself this time, but the next day I'm going to be ready for it and I'm going to learn from it. So like there's no such thing as failure. We either win, which is our win for the day, or we learn. We're never all going to be perfect. Shit's going to happen. Life's going to get in the way. And then it's just like, okay, adjust, pivot slightly. What do I do different next time? And that's really, really important. And that can only be done by taking time to reflect. So in my opinion, having a little journal and pen beside your bed, literally 5 minutes. This is not a huge exercise where you just reflect on the day and make a decision of what you're focusing on for the following day. It's absolutely life-changing. I promise you that. And you have more time to do this at the weekend, you see. Number 14, no guilt or anxiety allowed when we're busy living our best lives here, okay? From this moment on, I want you to make every decision with the thought, how will this make me feel, okay? Will this energize and satisfy me, or will it make me feel sick and sluggish? I want you to start removing emotions from food and from habits, okay? If things didn't go according to plan, please drop that guilt. Take a deep breath, breathe in some lovely white, cloudy, clean air and breathe out, like obviously you're visualizing this, breathe out this black cloud, this black smoke, which is all the negativity. Just breathe it away. Okay, visualize that. And it's okay to have a thought, but we don't want to fixate on it. Just because you think something doesn't mean it's true. Okay, so breathe it away. That guilt that you feel when things didn't go according to plan. You have nothing to be guilty for. You're human. Okay, that's totally okay. And same if you've got a meal out or, a weekend away and you're feeling anxious about food, breathe that away too. What is the point in losing weight, in getting healthier, in getting fitter, in feeling better? All of the stuff that you have done to improve your life. What's the point in it all if you cannot take a weekend off every now and again to go away with your family or, go out for dinner and relax and enjoy good quality food with people that you love? What is the point? You're just going to be a miserable skinny person. And you don't want to be a miserable skinny person. You want to be full of life and full of crack and full of enjoyment. Okay. So that's really important. Breathe away that anxiety. So what if it doesn't go according to plan? You'll learn from it. And as I said there a minute ago, by just making a commitment from this day forward to ask yourself, with every decision that you make, how will this make me feel? Because we often don't give focus. For example, let's take eating, for example, and just say you've got the packet of biscuits out in the evening time and you're about to dig in and probably eat half the packet, if not the full packet of biscuits. We're thinking about how we're feeling before that happens. We're enjoying the feeling during it, but rarely do we actually stop for a second and think, how will this make me feel afterwards? So taking that moment, is this packet of biscuits going to energize and satisfy me? Or will it make me feel sick and sluggish? And that can be enough for you to make a decision in the moment. The same in relation to exercise. Let's say you come in from work and you're wrecked and you don't feel like going for a walk, and you know that you really should go for a walk because you've been sitting all day in the car or whatever. And you're like, oh, fuck it, I won't go. And then it's like, again, you can say, will not going for a walk energize and satisfy me? Or will it make me feel sick and sluggish? You know what the right answer is there. And I've spoken before about the 5-minute action. The 5-minute action is really useful for making yourself get up and go. But after you start getting up and going and you're building momentum, when you get to the stage that every decision, everything you eat, everything you do, every person you spend time with, every movement that you make, that you're like, how will this make me feel in this moment right now? What do I need right now? Once we can start to do that and we build the evidence, you will start to do things because of how you know it's going to make you feel afterwards. That's what I do now. Everything, even when I'm like, oh, I don't feel like going to the gym, or oh, I don't want to do this. I'm like, no, it's what I do. And I do it because I know how it's going to make me feel afterwards. And that is the delayed gratification that changes everything. Last one, number 15. Please remember, the danger is in the dose. Okay. So you don't need to cut anything out. But it's also really important to remember there's nothing more in the 15th bite that you don't get in the first few bites. Okay. So bite, maybe it's being the wrong word. Let's take a pizza, for example. Not that you're having 15 slices of pizza, but there's nothing in the 7th slice of pizza. You're not getting any more from it that you didn't get in the first 4 slices of pizza. So eating slowly and mindfully, enjoying the food, stopping when you're full, taking your time eating it and really savoring it, really enjoying it and be like, I'm full now. And just because that's sitting on the table in front of you doesn't mean you need to keep eating it. Like put someone else's dirty napkin over your plate when you're like, no, I'm full. I don't want to keep picking at it. It's the same with the biscuits. It's like you having 2, 3, even 4 biscuits if they're tracked, whatever, with your cup of tea is no harm. You're talking anywhere between 200 to 400 calories probably. Yeah, that's no sweat. And when you go past whatever amount it is that you have planned for, it's not actually giving you any more of a dopamine hit than what you've already gotten from the previous 2. So when we can start to recognize that, it can be really, really powerful. So yeah, just food for thought, no pun intended there. But just to give you some tips, these 15 points will help you to win the weekend, no matter whether your weekend is a nice, quiet weekend, just doing your few bits, or whether you've got loads of social occasions on. It's not gospel. You can adjust, you can take ones that resonate with you and not listen to me on things that you're like, no, Kate, I don't want to do that. That's totally fine. These are just my thoughts. I hope you have found them helpful, and I will talk to you all next time. I just want to say thank you so much for listening to the podcast. And I would just ask for one thing from you. If at all possible, could you make sure that you subscribe to the podcast? It really does make such a difference. If there's a particular episode that you've enjoyed, please do share it in your WhatsApp groups, share it on your stories, tag myself and the guest in your stories. All of these things really do help to grow the podcast. And obviously, if there's anything you'd like to reflect on, please do leave a comment. It would mean the world to me, and I will see you on the next one.